All right, everybody, I'm doing some posts updating everybody on the lawsuits that have been filed against the Trump administration. I've already done the Doge cases, the federal employee cases, the civil rights cases, and DEIA cases, and now we are over on immigration. So, all of the immigration cases are here having to do with the birthright citizenship, which actually just had a new ruling yesterday in another case, the terminating of legal immigration, ICE abuses, equal protection violations as well. So I'll take you through these cases. My floor's a little squeaky. This is my closet. It's the only thing big enough that fit all the cases. So I've got an old creaky floor I'm standing on. Let me give you the updates here. All right. First, we've got the County of Santa Clara. This is the birthright executive order case. Right now, it's looking like we've got an order to show cause not to issue a stay that's been put into place. We've got some responses going on, but no hearing. Next, we have the OCA, Asian Pacific American Association, I guess. This has to also do with birthright citizenship under the executive order. Defendant's answer to the complaint is due April 5th, so we're still waiting on that. So this one's just got a complaint. There's a lot more coming on that one. Franco Allman, this is another one, birthright citizenship executive order, and this was consolidated into the Washington case. Next, we have New York Immigration Coalition. Again, birthright citizenship is the issue here. There were some filing errors that happened. Confidentiality has been granted for safety reasons, and we're waiting on proper summonses for this particular case to go forward. Lee v. Trump, this is a birthright citizenship executive order case as well, but this is under seal. That's pretty major. I mean, you can see all these cases. None of these cases are under seal except for this one. So this one's special. Next, we've got New Hampshire Indonesian versus Trump. This has to do with, again, birthright citizenship, that executive order that came out. Right now, we do have a preliminary injunction that was granted. We're still waiting now for the next step. U.S. Conference of Bishops versus the Department of State. This is, again, this one's not birthright citizenship, but it is on the suspension of U.S. refugee admissions programs, so suspending proper legal immigration. Here, we've got a preliminary injunction hearing that has already occurred. We're waiting on an order from that hearing. Next, we have the state of New Jersey et al. Versus Trump. This is a birthright citizenship case. We've got a defendant's motion to stay the injunction was put into place, and that's been denied. So there has been an injunction placed, and the government's not happy about it. Next, we've got the CASA case. This is CASA v. Trump. This is another birthright executive order case. This is a pretty big one. February 5th, we had a preliminary nationwide injunction put into place. On the 13th, the defendants, so the government, appealed an interlocutory appeal to go to the next higher court. The 20th, the defendant's request for a stay had been denied. So this one's a big fight one. Let's put this over in the Rockstar cases. There we go. It's a Rockstar case. There's a lot going on with that one. Next, we've got the Denver Public Schools. This has to do with the rescission of protection policies regarding ICE. March 7th was a hearing. We're waiting on an order still from that. This one is Doe Brazilian Worker Center. This has to do with birthright citizenship executive order. We do have a temporary restraining order in place. Preliminary injunction's been granted on February 13th. The 19th, the defendants appealed. And right now, it's looking like we are waiting, but the U.S. attorney that had been put on file to be the government's attorney, said, hey, I'm going to be the attorney, and then the next day filed a withdrawal. So this case shows me that there's some struggles going on in the Department of Justice right here because of what's going on with the attorneys there. I think the Department of Justice is having some troubles keeping up with all of this. That's just my thought on it. Next, we've got I'm going to say it wrong, everybody. Centro de Trabajadores Unidos versus Basent. Center of Workers. Okay, United Workers is what that is. Using the IRS for undocumented immigration enforcement. This is one of our newer cases. This was filed March 7th. So we've got the complaint on file, not much more than that. Next, Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services. This one is a prohibition from asylum. Again, legal immigration legal assistance has been pulled. A stay until February 24th had been put into place, but right now we're still gathering information, and the court will be reviewing this case again later on down the road. But we don't have any further updates at this point. Pacito versus Trump. This was a suspension of the U.S. refugee admissions program. Again, legal immigration suspension. A preliminary injunction was granted on February 28th. Next, we have the Organized Community Against Deportation. This is the issue going on here. This is the Chicago case, everyone, where we saw a lot of people really educating themselves on their own rights and how this whole process works, and we love that. We had a request for a temporary restraining order, which has been withdrawn because so much damage has already been done. They're trying to conserve their energy and resources for the big fight in court. So there was this request for a restraining order, but they're like, you know what, we need to really focus on the case at this point because a lot of damage has already been done. Next, Make the Road, New York. This is this is expedited removal question here. We're still gathering attorneys in this, so different appearances and pro hoc vices and amicus briefs. Next, we have Casa Inc. and Make the Road. This one, we have summons being issued and attorneys still being gathered. So this is a separate case from this one, but our attorneys are still being gathered here and summons being issued. Next one is the Amicus Center for Immigration versus the Department of Justice, and this is access to attorneys. This is kind of a big deal. We've actually got two updates going on. The first update, temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. We're waiting on reply briefs for that. And then the next one was court reminds both sides of standing order. So the most recent order is basically the court saying, I've got rules when it comes to filing in my court, and y'all need to follow those rules or you're going to be in trouble. March 17th is the next hearing on the injunction. So, ouch. That's a smack from the judge to the lawyers. Next, we have Las Americas versus DHS. This has to do with the CBP app. We had a motion for summary judgment requested. That was denied. Right now we're taking in amicus briefs as well as approving pro hoc vice attorneys. We do have a temporary restraining order in place. Next, National TPS Alliance, and this has to do with the DHS revocation of temporary protected status for Venezuelans. Legal, that was all legal. Right now we have a motion to shorten time, and it looks like an emergency hearing is set for March 24th. Next, Espinoza here, writ of habeas corpus and an injunction request for Guantanamo is in play. I've got no answer to that as of right now. And then Las Americas Immigration. Again, this is another Guantanamo situation. And it's looking like appearances and motions. And it's looking like they are still gathering appearances. We've got a hearing that's set for the 14th. So just in a couple of days, we should get an update. There you go, everybody. That's an update on the immigration cases. Next up, I'll take you down this centerpiece here, which is kind of like a hodgepodge or a potpourri of different issues. All right, next one coming up.